Hey, y'all. It is Barb Meets World, and I am back with my Married to Medicine reviews for episodes 11, Not Phaedra's Type, as well as episode 12, Hilton Head, Here We Come. Okay, I know we have been absent for a couple weeks now, and then we took a break last week with the Super Bowl. So it actually worked out well for me because I was traveling the week before that. And then I also just got back from Mardi Gras 2 days ago, or actually, wait, today's Thursday. Yeah, I got back yesterday, actually. So it's been a busy couple weeks for your girl, but I still did not want to just go ahead and push forward and jump back into things. For on episode 13, I wanted to make sure I at least gave my commentary on episodes 11 and 12 because I don't like gaps in my content or anything like that. So that's why I'm here giving you guys my thoughts, opinions, commentary on these two episodes. Yeah, that's why. I also was sick for a little bit too, y'all. It's been a lot. It's been a lot going on. But again, I wanted to make sure I gave you guys my thoughts because these episodes definitely had a little bit in there. I won't go into so much detail as I usually would because, again, by now, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen the episodes. You guys have formed your own thoughts and opinions, as you guys always do. But nonetheless, I did want to talk about just some highlights, some key points that I picked up on. And yeah, you guys like the video when you guys enter the room. Please. It helps me get all up in that algorithm and it pushes my content out to viewers like yourself. So please go ahead and like the video. If you're not subscribed to the channel already, go ahead, hit that subscription button. Check the description box below as well for all my social medias, which are also now scrolling along the bottom. But there's also some other pertinent information down in the description box below. So like I said, go ahead, check that out. Make sure your notification bell is on so you know every time I upload. And let's get into it, shall we? Starting off with episode 11. Eugene has finally put together another date/activity for Toya that has finally been up to her standards. They're making some floral arrangements, which I actually thought was pretty cool. That's actually something that I would enjoy doing myself. So there was no complaints there. Thank goodness. She actually likes flowers. So yeah, she's satisfied. Moving right along, we also see in the next scene that it's it's Damon's medical mixer, which I thought was awesome. That's a great event. I love networking events. I love to mix and mingle and amongst professionals in that type of setting. So that was really neat to see that. But what I didn't find to be too neat was Heavenly's outfit. I didn't get a picture of it, y'all, but again, I'm sure you guys have seen it by now. We know that Heavenly's not, as far as fashions, she's not the fashion girl. We know that. So I don't need to add any extra stank on that. We already know that. That's not shade. She'll even tell you herself. That's just not, her thing for real. And this particular outfit, she was aided in selecting said outfit by none other than Phaedra, Miss Wannabe Sigworld. Shout outs to Rodney the Voice herself. Yeah, it was definitely something that I feel like we would see Phaedra in these days. I really just didn't care for it at all. I didn't really understand why she was wearing it to such function. But then again, this also tells me that based on her outfit and some of the things that she said and the way that she, carried herself during this scene tells me everything I need to know. And I think I'm not saying that Damon doesn't put these things on frequently, but I don't think that they knew that they was about to film. clearly, because if it was 100% serious for real, she would not have came up in there with that outfit. I know that. Like, I'm gonna give her that much. But also during this event, we find out where they are going to be going for the upcoming 10-year couples trip, OG trip, whatever you want to call it. And that is going to be Hilton Head Island. If you guys don't know, Hilton Head Island is it was the destination that we found out Curtis was cheating on Jackie at all those years ago. So of course, when Simone drops that bomb, it's kind of like audible gasp a little bit. And Heavenly, of course, being the bulldog that she is when it comes to Jackie, immediately starts windmilling for Simone. And I'm just like, on one hand, no, I don't believe that Simone would do that maliciously on purpose. I don't believe that. I don't see how that would be beneficial to the direction they're trying to take their friendship. But on the other hand, y'all, I honestly believe that Simone was kind of used as a production pawn, if you will. I feel like production probably had their hand in selecting this particular place because they wanted to get it going. I genuinely do. You guys tell me what you guys think in the comments. I also wanted to mention how Dr. Alicia said that since returning from wine country, Kemma has found a newly found respect for her and what she deals with on a daily basis. We know that he had some his viewpoints are not my viewpoints. And I spoke on that in my last review of the previous episode. I couldn't get down with that. I don't agree with his view on relationship gender role dynamics and all that. I definitely don't. Couldn't work for me, but that's not my husband, so I digress. But in this scene, Alicia says that, and she's also been continuously saying how she's raised by a single mom. She's been raised to be very independent and very much able-bodied and a free thinker and all that. And that is not necessarily the type of partner Kemma wants or believes one should be as a wife. And that's why in this scene, I was kind of confused because y'all, I'm actually glad that I had a little bit more time to marinate on these episodes, because I honestly was like, okay, Alicia's kind of reminding me of Contessa almost. You know how Contessa spoke on the things that were going on in her marriage and all that, but then when it was brought to the forefront or whatever in the group or whatever, it was a different story, or she tried to act like it wasn't what she presented it as previously. That's kind of what Alicia's giving me, y'all, because like, you can't say on one hand that that's not even the type of woman that you are. Like, you don't agree with that logic. Like, that's not, that has been a point of contention for however X amount of years in y'all's marriage. You can't say that on one hand and then come at Toya like, oh yeah, when Toya said your man seems too difficult to take care of, I'm sorry. She said that because that's what you've been giving off every time you bring it up. So how can you then turn around and come out your face and say, oh, just like you and Kim are like very opinionated. Like, you're coming at her with that type of energy, real Starky like, but it's just like, that's what you were just giving us. So it's like, you got to pick one, choose one. You threw that out there. We're just supporting you in that, and you want to come back with that type of energy. No, you need to be mad with him. But anyway, moving on. And also, as it pertains to the whole Hilton Head Island trip destination, Jackie also was like, okay, I don't believe Simone was being malicious. I think she, genuinely forgot. And I can believe that. Once again, I can believe that Simone didn't do it on purpose. And I also believe the reason why it couldn't be changed at that point is because of, budget concerns or whatever. So, but Heavenly's not the type of person who's trying to hear that. But moving on. When Jackie gets home to tell Curtis about this, I was kind of confused, y'all. I feel like this scene was shot. These scenes were shot out of order. Jackie's got braids in her hair now. She's talking to him about this, and he's over it. She really wants to go, but he's not trying to, have a blast from the past, so to speak. And I'm just like, why are we giving him a say at all? Like, you're the one that caused this to happen, and now, it's almost like we got to cater to your feelings again. Like, no, like, absolutely not. Jackie's better than me, man. She really is, because it would have been however I'm feeling. We're gonna base it off of how I'm feeling. You're just mad because you don't want to hear potentially about your wrongdoings. Well, sir, you shouldn't have did it in the first place. Period. But moving on. Aiden's birthday party was absolutely wonderful. Love the Dwight cameo. Phaedra clearly goes hard for those boys, and although she is a python in a blonde wig, I could never discredit her as a mother. And Dr. Heavenly, let me just tell you that it does not matter if anybody has a ring on, people will still approach them, because, and I say that from firsthand experience, I be having my ring on blinging and I still get approached. So at the end of the day, if somebody wants to step out of their marriage, they're going to do it with a ring on their finger or not. But I mean, whatever. I would expect nothing but that type of energy coming from you. And I love the flashbacks of Aiden and Phaedra, mainly from Real Housewives of Atlanta, of course, if you guys watched her on there. And he was very well spoken to be just 13. He was speaking from the heart when he gave his speech, and even when he got nervous, he was still able to speak clearly and convey his feelings, which I think that was just it was very touching to see, honestly. We never really know if we're getting a genuine scene for real, because it's kind of this is reality TV nonetheless, but it's more so like altered reality TV, y'all, if I'm being honest. But this particular scene, I felt the realness in it. And I think that those are the good influences that Phaedra has pressed on her children, and it was nice to see. Going back to the whole Hilton Head of it all, of course, the topic is brought up again once Jackie arrives. Her, Simone, and Heavenly step to the side, and she just kind of tells them, we're in a great space. There's been closure as it pertains to that subject, and I don't really know if I want to disrupt that right now. And Simone and Heavenly, they of course begin to go at it, because Heavenly's whole thing is like, why would you do this? Like, you're supposed to be, her friend of 20 plus years. Like, how could you, how could that just be an oversight like that? Like, that makes no sense. And I was just like, okay, well, first of all, wrong time, wrong freaking place. But before we know it, Jackie walks off, and I'm like, that's exactly why things occur how they do, because Jackie is able to keep this pristine image because she has someone like Heavenly to go ahead and say how she really feels, because she won't do it, and she wants to act as though she's so over things, but demeanor, everything else is telling a different story right now. So are you over it, or are you not? And if that's the case, stop trying to put up this hard exterior all the time about everything. Say how you mean, or say what you mean, and mean what you say, period. But I don't think that we'll ever get that from Jackie, because she just be different. She be too different with yeah. What else? She eventually walks back and goes back to saying that it's up to Curtis in the end. Again, I don't agree with that. I feel like it should be up to you. I honestly, I mean, again, I don't even know why you're with the man still, but that's your business, it's not mine. At this point, though, you should say whether or not you want to go free of him and how he feels, frankly. And a lot of you guys might not agree with that. And I'm not saying don't take your partner into consideration, but when has he ever taken Jackie into consideration? I wish I figured out how to make my mixer work, because I would definitely hit the crickets button on that. Like, come on now. Anyway, Sweet Tea, she wasn't excited to go on the trip because she looked it up. She says that Hilton Head, it looks like it's gonna be boring. Everybody's so much older than her. And it's like when she starts speaking like this, I gotta get off the bus with her, because it's like, girl, you knew this coming on the show. What was your mindset? Like, why did you want to come on the show? Hmm? I mean, I have my thoughts and my assumptions as to why you came on the show, but why did you come on the show? You clearly knew. You might not have knew everything about these women, but you dang sure knew approximately their age group. So why did you come on the show if you're gonna sit here and every time you want to bring up the age thing? Like, I don't understand that, y'all. I really don't. Simone plans to give Jackie the master, and I mean, I guess it's a nice touch or whatever, but whatever. Whatever. Kemma, whatever, you're an oral surgeon, not a dentist, whatever, who cares? But that's basically where the episode 11 ended. We're gonna roll right into episode 12, which again is entitled Hilton Head, Here We Come. It is the morning of the trip. We pick right off where we left off in the previous episode. It's the morning of the trip. Everyone meets over at Simone's house. I loved how Simone was trolling Kemma. It was everything for me, because really this had the audacity to say that Alicia's already trained upright. Like, what does that even mean? Like, how can you even speak on your spouse, your partner like that? Oh, I forgot, because you don't really see her as a partner. You see her as a doer. She's supposed to do for you. And you're just supposed to, just act like you are not another able-bodied grown man. Okay. Anyway. Everybody begins to arrive. Shout out to Eugene, going back to that whole trained up comment or whatever. Shout outs to him. He said a lot of really good things that really resonated with me in this episode, as he always does. I can never say Eugene doesn't look at things objectively. I can never say that he, I appreciate his outlook on things, and the way that he's not just going to settle and be a Cecil or be a Kemma in this particular scene. So I appreciated when he said, if you have to train your spouse or whatever, you're probably not going to have one for very long. Like, yeah, exactly. And I say exactly because I honestly feel like one of these days, Alicia is just going to just blow up on his, which will be very justifiable if you ask me. And that's because she continues to try to fit into this box that she clearly is not going to fit into, because that's just not her. But I already beat a dead horse with that, so I'm not even gonna go back there. But anyway, what I also had a chuckle about is when Toya tried to say that the other ladies being Jackie, Phaedra, and Heavenly, were late because they required the most makeup. I found that funny because Toya was just called out on the blogs for editing one of her pictures, a selfie that she took with Simone. Simone put up the real raw unedited photo, whilst Toya edited and blurred and removed some, harsh lines, some crow's feet and some wrinkles and all that, and some dark circles. She went ahead and did that. So I'm like, you really want to talk. And again, y'all, that's no shade, because it's 2024. We all edit photos. That's not what I'm trying to come at. But what I'm trying to come at is, don't sit here and try to throw shade about saying that somebody else is trying to put all this extra into their looks because they want to look the best or whatever. Don't try to shade them for that when you are clearly somebody that puts extra emphasis into presenting yourself a certain way. But you're not ready for that conversation, I'm sure. I'm on a roll right now. So again, they're all waiting for the other ladies to arrive. And in the meantime, Simone's like, I told him I'm going to be here. Like, come on now. So she calls Heavenly, and Heavenly's like, she's not coming. Curtis not feeling it. Y'all know how I feel about it. Nah, I'm good. And they're like, girl, what? Like, you know what? Okay. Simone didn't really press Heavenly in particular, because at the end of the day, we know that they are the best frenemies of them all. So I wasn't surprised about that. And then directly following that, Simone calls Jackie to verify what Heavenly just said. And Jackie's like, yeah, we won't be in attendance. That's not what we're trying to do right now. And Curtis not feeling it, and she starts to sound like she crying at the end. I'm just like, girl, whatever, man. Like, whatever. I would have just like, okay, okay. Because at this point, again, don't say that y'all are over something or whatever, and then and then this is the energy you're displaying. Because on one hand, I'm like, is he still cheating? Do you guys have an arrangement? Are you not over it? Like, what is it? Because you can't sit here and say like, oh, we're so over it, but then act like this. And this is why I understood where Eugene was coming from when later on in the episode, he gets a little, he's at his wit's end kind of about the whole, oh, you guys don't want to come because you think that one of us is going to bring up the incident. And it's just like, we've been around each other, being friends, kikiing all these years, 5, 6, 7+ years at this point. Why would you think us as friends are going to bring that up and throw that in your face when we're trying to all come together and celebrate, our decades long group friendship? Like, why would you think that? And Eugene and Toya are two people in particular that don't want to be mislabeled, honey. We have learned that in the past. So I totally understood that. And as a friend, as someone who is, I believe that I am a very, very solid friend. I'm a girl's girl. You want to call it a ride or die, whatever you want to call it. I am that person. So don't ever try to label me as somebody that would just handle a friendship with such negligence. So I really understood what he meant by that later on, and that's why I didn't understand why, if it's all what you guys are saying it is, then why is it such an issue? Then why aren't you coming then? But I guess that's something that inquiring minds will never know, because I don't feel like Jackie keeps it 100% real all the time. I don't. I'm sorry. Real with herself, real with us, she just don't. Phaedra does show up, however, so now they can get on the bus, and again, everybody's very adamant about them not bringing up the incident. Again, it's been 7 years. Like, come on, nobody's even thinking about that. At the end of the day, you're the ones that really are making it a bigger deal than we are, but whatever. We on this bus, we got to go down here and make the most of it. We also find out that in his culture, men don't perform oral sex. This is coming from Kemma. And I actually watched the Watch What Happens Live episode following this episode, I believe. Actually, I think it was Sweet Tea that actually dropped that bomb on the previous episode of Watch What Happens Live. But Dr. Alicia, she substantiated it and went into more detail in her episode. And again, that's something maybe Dr. Alicia and Jackie have a lot more in common than they think, because clearly they're lying. They both like to lie to themselves. And I say that because on one hand, Alicia's in the confessional like, oh yeah, well, you could do it more. And then on Watch What Happens Live, she's like, oh, it's been so long, I don't even miss it. Girl, has she ever looked at the statistic? I'm not saying that there is absolutely no women that get off by penetration. That's not what I'm saying. However, I will say that there is a larger percent of us that need other external types of stimulation to get off. That's completely, normal. And at the end of the day, or simply you just freaking enjoy it all in general. So don't sit here and try to tell me that you don't miss it. It's, it's not something that you think about. It's blah, blah, blah. Like, no, that's you again trying to force yourself into a box. And one day you are going to snap, girl, one day. And I'm not trying to talk things into existence, y'all. I'm just calling it like it is. The lady is lying to herself. And it's really, really bittersweet because she's beautiful, obviously highly intelligent, accomplished, all of those things. But at the end of the day, you're over here stuck to somebody who's got their head so far up the that fucking ancestors' asses. So excuse my language, y'all. That it just doesn't mean you any well. Go get away, God, get away while you can, girl. And maybe I'm so charged up about this, y'all, because, and I'll talk about this in another episode if you guys want to, in another live, I should say, if you guys want to hear more about this. But I actually had a verbal sparring match about 3 weeks ago, with someone, about, yes, gender roles, feminism, and all things as it pertains to romantic relationships. And wow, that it took a lot out of me and made me realize that there are really people like Kemma walking around and closer than you think a lot of times. This isn't just something that you see people thinking on TV. No, sometimes these people be right next door to you or freaking in your friend groups. And it's something that I don't care who you are, I can never get down with certain types of logic. I cannot. And I'm gonna have to speak my mind every chance I get. So again, if y'all want to hear about that, I will talk about it in another live. But for now, I'm gonna press on so I can wrap this up. I don't want it to be too long for you guys. But they eventually reach the house. The chef was already in there throwing down. He has some rum cocktails, some blue crab, some deviled eggs, all being fixed up for them. I would have devoured all of the above with a quickness. And Toya, I don't even know how we got on this subject, probably again from Kimma's controversial views. Toya needs to let us know that she does give off hella BDE, but at the same time, she is all vagina. And Eugene lets us know that is 100% true. He even checked himself. Okay. Phaedra University had an act. I'm not even going to keep getting into that because then out of nowhere, the other two couples arrive. Damon and Heavenly and Jackie and Curtis. They pull up in an SUV and we're all kind of like, okay. I mean, we already knew that they were going to come because we in the previews and stuff, we knew that they were going to come, but it was just kind of like, oh, okay. So they come on in, and before we know it was actually Toya that broke the ice first. She's speaking on how she didn't really appreciate how Heavenly backed out just because Jackie wasn't going. That makes her look like a ishy friend. And if anybody placed focus on the incident, it was her and how she handled it. Because none of them were even thinking about it at the end of the day. And they continue to go back and forth for a second, only for Sweet Tea to chime in and say, well, since we're talking about it, and everyone's trying to cater so much to Jackie's feelings, did we forget about how you being Jackie brought up the situation about Quad in front of me, and that wasn't really fair. And again, as I discuss this further, y'all just know that I think that Sweet Tea was completely valid and had a serious point, and in its own right, and independent of this situation. Y'all just, I'm gonna preface everything by saying that. But then in response, Jackie begins to, well, actually, she asked her, she's like, are you trying to make me uncomfortable? And Sweet Tea says, no, but I think you should be on the hot seat. And I don't feel like that was rude, harsh, or anything. At the end of the day, we're all here, and this show works like clockwork. Like at the end of the day, if 12 o'clock is the hot seat, we're all constantly being rotated in and out of the 12 o'clock spot. So at the end of the day, it's in Sweet Tea's eyes, it's just your turn, her turn, Jackie's turn. And Jackie then begins to deliver this monologue that details how she's in the hot seat each and every day as a physician, which I really didn't understand what that had to do with anything, because we're talking about hot seat as it pertains in a social circle, in a social setting, in this social group or whatever, in this friends group, not a professional hot seat. So I feel like that was so far from left field, but okay, we'll be cool on you right now, Jackie. And y'all, I don't know if you guys clocked this, but I damn sure did, and I'm going to talk about it. Did you guys pick up on when Dr. Jackie, I think it was towards the end when she was rattling off all these reasons in her monologue, when she said, I'm in the hot seat every time I help a woman deliver a baby I couldn't have. Y'all heard that, right? If you didn't, go ahead and rewind and rewatch this scene, because she said it as clear as day. And again, this is why I'm saying she doesn't keep it real with herself or us, y'all. She doesn't. Because you can't sit here and tell me that hasn't, I feel like there was some resentment up under there. And this can kind of give us a little bit more context as to why she speaks the way she does on mothers, Black women, potential. Like maybe this is that was the missing link that we needed to know. But your true colors are kind of showing right now, Jackie, with that statement. I really hope that someone asked her about that in the reunion. I know last week or whatever, the week before, they already filmed the reunion. And I really hope, y'all, that some viewer wrote in and addressed that, because I picked up on it and I want to know what Jackie has to say and how that has affected her mindset as a physician. I want to know, because she wouldn't have just threw that in there for no reason. Moving on. At this point, Heavenly's issue is that Simone didn't change the location after finding out, after remembering, I guess you could say, what Hilton Head represented. She didn't change it. And I said before that to me was more of a budget thing. But again, I don't know for sure because I am not on the production team, of course. Just, a freaking reviewer of the show. Then because the neighbors are looking, they go inside, and inside Curtis says his freaking opinions on it and whatever, and kind of tries to I'm not gonna say be intimidating, but he tries to I don't know the word for it, but the energy he was giving off was very like yeah, I'm saying this and to shut things down and be the be the final say in the matter, if you will, like be the dominant voice in the room about it. And I was just kind of like, again, why do we care so much about what you have to say? You just don't want it to be brought up, probably because either you're still cheating or you feel guilty or you were able to continue to pull the wool over Jackie's eyes about this whole thing when in reality she should have left your ass. But that's why, to me, you don't want it to be brought up. But anyway, and I really, again, going back to the Python in a blonde wig, aka Phaedra, I loved when she clocked that Jackie got Heavenly to do exactly what she wanted her to do, which is jump on Simone and do her dirty work. And I'm like, that again is why Jackie don't be keeping 100% real, because everything that Heavenly was spewing is probably the exact things that Jackie was feeling, but Jackie tries to portray herself as one type, as an elite, super professional, unbothered person, when in all actuality, nah, you are human just like the rest of us, and you be feeling a different type of way deep down inside. You just try to hide that ish. And then going back to what I said before, this is when Eugene is trying to seek clarity on the basis of the friendship dynamic in the group. It's like, okay, Curtis, do you not trust that we as friends would maliciously break up a sensitive topic that almost destroyed y'all's marriage? Like, do you not trust us? Because up until now, I thought everything was all good. I thought we were really friends. Y'all go ahead and do this one thing for me. Sorry about that, y'all. I had to blow my nose because I'm still a little congested. But anyway, going back to what I was saying. So at this point, a nerve in Sweet Tea is struck, and she's like, again, yo, Curtis, but at the end of the day, your wife made fun of me and my situation. And going back to when Jackie made a comment about freaking the hotel room girl that, and Dr. G, like how she's about to show up at the bachelorette party too or whatever. Jackie said that out of her own mouth. And that wasn't, and I have to, although I have my own thoughts and opinions on Sweet Tea in general, in this particular situation, I can't disagree. She has a point, a valid point. That was cool to talk about and be brought up. And at the end and actually, if you really think about it, if y'all are so past that situation, if that's such a thing in the past, that's so years old, I would think that Sweet Tea and the comment Jackie made, I would think that that's way more relevant. That's actually more greater of an issue if you ask me, because that's they just got married. That's something that could mess up something that's going on currently. Potentially, it could have, or whatever. Y'all get what I'm trying to say. So I feel like that was actually worse for her to say than for anything that could be brought up about y'all. The only thing that I will say, to Sweet Tea also is that the whole point that you weren't even around when any of this was occurring, so it kind of is like, okay, can you really speak on something? Like, girl, you were not even a glimmer in anybody in Dr. G's eyes when the whole Hilton Head cheating thing happened. So I feel like that's probably the only thing I have to say against Sweet Tea and how she feels in this moment. But anyway, Jackie then addresses Sweet Tea in a very condescending manner by referring to her as baby girl, which I think she said at least twice in this scene. And she's like, say what you have to say. And Sweet Tea lets it freaking go. She says, F you, bitch. Very, very, with a lot of conviction. She meant that. Do y'all agree? Do you guys think that was right or wrong for Sweet Tea to have said? Y'all let me know in the comments below. I feel like I don't really care about what she said. If that's how she feels, if that's what she wanted to say, then that's what it is. Do I necessarily agree with the time and place? No. And that's only because I feel like she should have brought this up and not let so much time pass in between. She shouldn't have let all this stuff build up. She says that she was just trying to protect Dr. G, that she's just been, trying to put, I guess, her best foot forward about with the ladies off of, because she loves Dr. G or whatever. And I have to say, like, don't ever try to mask and hide, how your true feelings, or if something's really bothering you, y'all, don't try to hide that, because this, potentially is what can happen. You could just, one day just blow up. Dr. Alicia, I should be talking to you when I say this too, but I feel like she should have took this up with Jackie right then and there and shut her the F down right then and there at that bachelorette party. Actually, I would tell her she could leave. And everybody, and I think it was Heavenly that, it was like, oh, like she really gonna say that to Jackie when she was just, jonesing on her or whatever. No, there's certain things you don't joke about with me, or that's the type of energy Sweet Tea should have came in with, especially because you got the Dr. Jackies and stuff and Heavenlies on the show that are going to try to play that age card. If I was Sweet Tea, that's exactly what type of energy I would have came in on. Like, okay, I already know they're going to try to sun me, so I need every chance I get, I'm going to need to gather them the F together every single time and back these bitches off me every single time. I'm going to make you wish you never talk to me crazy every single time. You're going to know that your words are unappreciated by me every single time. That's the only reason why I can't get down completely with Sweet Tea in this moment. Had she said the exact same things right after or right during the bachelorette party or episode after or whatever, oh, by all means, I would have been like, yeah, I don't see a problem, whatever. The only thing, y'all, that I have an issue with again is the time and place of it all. This would have been a bone I would have picked right when it came to at my feet. And all Jackie could say, this is when she says baby girl again. She's like, I'm gonna handle baby girl later, because Dr. G pipes up and tries to do some damage control, because everybody's kind of like, okay. And they also further talk about it in their room. And this is when, again, Sweet Tea just kind of, and, of course, they've been drinking and stuff. So I feel like that played a part in it as well. She's like, she can't take no more. She's tired of being nice. She can't take no more. She was trying for him, but it's just like, I'm only human. Like only a person can take so much. And, he tries to be there for her or whatever. Next morning, they being Dr. G and Sweet Tea discuss the situation with more detail and a sober mind. And Sweet Tea says that she hates that things went down the way they did. Dr. G doesn't feel good about her cussing someone out like that and getting that angry. He doesn't want to ever see that come out again. And she's like, I didn't want to take it there either, but, I guess it's just like, I wanted to get my get back or whatever. And he's like, you don't mean that or whatever. And she's like, yeah, I most certainly do. Like, it felt good. It felt good. But she does plan to apologize. Downstairs, Eugene's making some eggs because he gets it. Like, he's making some eggs. The caterers aren't there yet. And he thinks that Toya has handled conflict with the ladies with justifiable ammunition. So I'm going to pose that question to you guys. Let me know in the comments below. Do you feel as though Toya was justified in using the level of ammunition towards women every single time she did? And they gave us, a recap of all the times that Toya had to kick it to the ladies. So I want to know if you guys agree with Eugene's statement. Kemma is also trying to make some rum punch, and I said trying because as soon as Alicia came down, she was cutting up fruit and doing stuff too. I don't know if that was for her. It was apples, so I don't know if that was for the rum punch, but she definitely was right there, probably asking him where she could help or whatever. And you see how Toya just sat down and started nibbling without a care in the world. Like, oh yeah, Eugene's in there doing him. Yeah, I'm gonna sit back and chill like I'd be chilling. It was very on brand for both of them. Again, maybe I'm looking at it too in depth, but it made me laugh. And they start talking about the previous night as well. And this is, again, where I have to give a quick little clap. Quick, because at the end of the day, I never give any type of praise to anybody, so much so because at the drop of a dime, these people can come on our screens and disappoint us next week. So, again, a quick clap. Very quick clap. But Eugene, in this moment, Toya tries to say, how it wasn't, I don't remember if she was saying from her own mouth or from someone else's mouth. I think she might have said Dr. G, but it was like, okay, we're gonna sit here and talk about, how Sweet Tea shouldn't be addressing someone as the B word that's, much older than them. But Eugene's whole thing is like, okay, but at the same time, Jackie shouldn't be calling her little baby either. Like, accompanied with the church there, like, and I have to agree with that. Don't age shame me, and I won't age shame you. That's one of the quickest ways actually to piss me off is to, one, insult my intelligence, two, try to do the age shaming thing. Like, I don't like that either. So I totally understand where and empathize with Sweet Tea when this is said. And again, this is one of those moments where I have to give a shout out to Eugene because he, is thinking objectively, unlike the majority of the other people a lot of times. And then going back upstairs, Simone and Heavenly, they make up for the time being. Y'all know how they are. And Heavenly says that although she does not always have to defend Jackie or put in her 2 cents, maybe if Jackie spoke up more, maybe Simone would have realized how serious this was for her. And I couldn't agree with that more. Jackie, maybe if you actually be real with yourself and with everybody from time to time, this type of situation could have been avoided. Anyway. And so the way Simone set everything up today, the guys are going to be going to cook and the ladies are going to be going golfing. And I was like, oh, I'm so glad I'm not there because I used to go golfing like when I was younger with my dad, but like I totally have been like, oh, I actually want to go cooking because seems boring, but whatever. A lot of people use it as an excuse to get drunk anyway, so whatever. The only person I think that has any experience with golfing is Phaedra, and she even had the outfit to match. But so they all deliberate, guys in their van or whatever, in their transportation, the ladies in their mood of transportation as well. And this is the time where Sweet Tea decides to try to patch things up and apologize with Jackie. And she's like, she said that she apologizes for how everything came out and stuff. It triggered her and she was hurt. And Jackie's response was very much on brand and laced with the I'ma be cool on your ass for right now, but I'm really not about to F with you anymore. Yeah, that's what it was giving. And all the ladies picked up on it, except for poor Sweet Tea, because she turns to Heavenly like and asks her, what that means or whatever. And thankfully, Heavenly filled her in and said, like, no, she has not forgiven you. You like don't, absolutely not. And I am not surprised. Definitely saw that coming because none of the behaviors that Jackie's displaying are new. They're very, again, on brand with the character she tries to portray, at least on this show. So I wasn't surprised. She already didn't see it and she definitely is someone that is only amongst someone like Sweet Tea because of the show right now. I don't believe that she would ever really hang out with her. And a lot of you guys might even say that she would look down on someone like Sweet Tea generally. So her already having those types of views on you and only tolerating you because of the show or whatever. Now that you tried to come at her sideways like that, yeah, she didn't see what I'm trying to say before, and she definitely isn't now. That's how you tried to handle her. So I don't know, guys. I'm excited for the next episode after getting some filler episodes for a couple weeks there. I'm excited again to see I think this should be the season finale, right? I want to say. I can't remember. 13. No, I think there's 14 episodes. So I think we got 2 more episodes. This one and then this week's. And then next week, I think, is the finale. So I'm excited to see what all occurs after this initial night of this trip. I'm still disappointed that they're in Hilton Head, but what can we say? What I want to end things with, you guys, is a little bit more. Oh, speaking of the reunion, you guys, this came across thanks to the Jasmine brand. That's where I got it from. Apollo Nida to appear on Married to Medicine reunion to discuss co-parenting with Phaedra Parks. This just came out today. I think it was originally broke by People, but Anyway, Apollo Nida is reportedly set to join ex-wife Phaedra Parks at the upcoming Married to Medicine reunion. The Married to Medicine reunion will mark the first time Parks and Nida have appeared on screen together since season 7 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Nida still reportedly show up to support Parks and discuss their life post-divorce, including their cordial co-parenting bond. Y'all excited to see Apollo and Phaedra together again? Y'all let me know in the comments. Are y'all excited to see Apollo and Phaedra again? I feel like this was done to just solidify Phaedra's seat in next season, and to Phaedra somebody that you're never gonna also show us the real her and her real business. So, but at the same time, you know, you can only be a fan favorite for so long, but before your fans start dropping off, because it's like, girl, you're not giving anything, like for real. You have to give the viewers, you have to give the people what they want to a certain degree, of course. And we know that the people want to hear about Apollo and their co-parenting and her business like that. And by bringing him on in a controlled setting like this and addressing things once and for all, this will make it so that people don't continue to keep bringing this up and to keep the viewers like at bay. I feel like, if you will, that's what I see. It was done as a strategic move in that regard. But y'all let me know what you guys think of that in the comments. And also, as it pertains to reunion, shout out to Jay's reality blog. I found this to be funny. So yes, the reunion should be 3 parts, and apparently, according to Heavenly, she didn't like some of the reunion looks, said the people you would expect to dress good didn't. And someone came dressed looking like Baps, apparently. Hold on. Oh my God, I laughed too hard. I was about to start coughing. Anyway, that was so funny to me. Who do you guys think though? I feel like who came looking bad, but you expected them to look good? Quad, maybe? Either Quad or maybe even Toya. My expectations for like Simone and Heavenly are just like not. I mean, Simone, like Simone, Heavenly. Heavenly's always not gonna say that about herself. Sweetie, she's still doing the whole season 1 thing where she hasn't hired a stylist or found her personal style yet, if you ask me. So I wouldn't say that I expected her to dress good and she didn't. So I feel like it'd either be Phaedra or Quad mainly, or maybe even Toya. Toya being like so materialistic and stuff, and liking to also look a certain way. One could say that you would expect her to look really good and she didn't. Maybe I guess we'll have to stick around and find out. And as far as the Baps thing, I'm gonna have to give that to Phaedra, because she's been giving us wannabe city girl for a while now, so it has to be her, unless Simone allowed her stylist to put her in something wild. I feel like it would have to be Phaedra. But that's all I got for additional little Married to Medicine tea updates, whatever you guys want to call it. I would love to know what you guys think of my recap and review again for season 10 of Married to Medicine, episodes 11 and 12. Y'all let me know what you guys think of that in the comments below. Also, do not forget to like the video, y'all. Please like the video. And I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.